Hello, people of the internet. My name is Jenny, and this is going to be episode one of Bella Weems and her husband, Dallin Lambert. Bella Weems Lambert is an entrepreneur and YouTube creator who became famous originally for founding Origami Owl, a customizable jewelry company, and when she was just 14 years old. Today, she is also known for running Della vlogs, but now it's back to Bella and Dallin on YouTube, and that's her husband, Dallin Lambert. The channel has grown into a major family slash lifestyle YouTube channel business, basically. But the Origami Owl story actually starts before Bella was an adult. So this is your introduction into Bella Weems, who she is, and why we're going to talk about them in this next series I'm going to do. The $350 story. When Bella was just 14, she wanted a car for her 16th birthday when she was just 14. Her parents told her that they simply were not going to buy her a car, and if she wanted to buy one herself, she can go to work and earn the money. So she started babysitting and saved approximately $350. Her parents then matched that, giving her approximately $700 to start a business. Some company histories describe the total setup investment as $750. So there are slightly different figures in the historical accounts. So this is all allegedly. We don't know the exact amount of money she had to invest in this business, but Bella and her mother's name is Christy Weems. Keep that in mind. Research it if you want. She's a very interesting person. She began experimenting with customizable jewelry. The basic idea was a locket that could be opened, and you put like little charms in there representing different parts of your life. That became the living locket. They initially sold the jewelry through home parties, boutiques, and craft or jewelry shows. And then in 2010, 2011, they opened a kiosk at a mall in Chandler, Arizona. And then the business, apparently it took off extremely quickly. And here's where the MLN and direct sales part of it comes in. This is the part I think is particularly interesting. Origami Owl did not start out as a giant MLM operation. It began as a relatively conventional small jewelry business run by Bella and her mom. But demand grew beyond what the two of them could handle. So they reportedly had hundreds of people interested in becoming involved, and the mall kiosk wasn't scalable enough. So they changed the business model, and instead of Bella and her mother personally selling all the jewelry themselves, they began recruiting independent designers who could purchase Origami Owl and products and then sell them themselves. Origami Owl supplied the jewelry, tools, and websites, while independent sellers sold the products and earned commissions. This wasn't merely an internet rumor calling the company an MLN, it actually was. Direct Selling News explicitly described Origami Owl's compensation structure as multi level in 2014. At that point, it reportedly had more than 57,000 salespeople. Bella Weems is a very wealthy woman. By 2015, other company materials were reporting 60,000 plus independent designers, and another company document reported more than 70,000. So Origami Owl started as a teenage jewelry business, but it evolved into a multi-level direct selling company. But the numbers were huge. This is the extraordinary part of her story. Origami Owl reportedly generated $280,000 in 2011, $24 million in 2012. Approximately $250 million in 2013 was made, according to the company and Forbes. That's company revenue and sales, not Bella's personal bank account. We don't have reliable public documentation showing exactly how much Bella personally made from Origami Owl. It does not mean that she had $250 million. So, where did Bella Weems get her wealth? Primarily through her ownership and founding role in the Weems family business, which is Origami Owl, rather than simply from selling jewelry by herself. The company's enormous expansion created the opportunity for owners to become wealthy. The story was on the news stations, and it was a 14-year-old girl and $350 babysitting money made $250 million company. It was an amazing headline, but the actual story is much more complicated. Bella's mother, Christy Weems, was a co founder and deeply involved in building the company. Other members of the family were involved as well. So it wasn't just a teenage girl doing this. She had people behind her, important people who knew what they were doing. This is not solely Bella, but they made it look that way. She had an idea at 14 years old, but she also had a substantial parental and family support as well. So, what happened to Origami Owl? The company continued growing and expanded internationally, including into Canada. By 2015, the company had brought in experienced executives to help manage its expansion, its growth. Eventually, Bella's mother became CEO, and today Origami Owl sits under the broader Think Goodness business structure. A particularly interesting piece of recent information comes from Christy Weems herself. In a 2025 LinkedIn post, she said that the company reached at approximately $250 million in revenue in its fourth year, with approximately $42 million in EBITDA. I don't know what that is, but and that the company eventually became involved with private equity. And she also said that the following years brought significant difficulties for the business. So this business apparently experienced major highs and significant problems afterwards. That's not her only career. That's not the only place Bella's wealth comes from. After Origami Owl, Bella became increasingly known online as a creator. She married Dallin Lambert, and the two eventually built Della Vlogs, a family slash lifestyle YouTube brand. It was just the two of them for a while, though. And this is the story that I am researching into now. This is the very first video. Just wanted to introduce Bella to you guys. Bella went from teen entrepreneur to MLM direct selling founder, wealthy young business owner, and now a YouTube uh, family influencer. So, based on all the information that I have found online, this isn't a matter, this is not a known number. Like, this is just a guess, an estimate of the $250 million. We know where the business revenue came from, but what we don't have is a transparent public accounting of Bella's personal wealth. So I'm going to end this with saying that Origami Owl did not end. It is now Think Goodness. It evolved into Think Goodness, and it now owns the intellectual property associated with Origami Owl. Its own legal page says Think Goodness owns trademarks, including Origami Owl. And so the company's structure expanded beyond jewelry into a broader collection of brands. And Think Goodness includes Origami Owl, CMYK Cosmetics, Willing Beauty, and Intuitive Wellness. The brands were brought together under the Think Goodness umbrella in around 2021. Think Goodness still markets Bella as its founder. For example, a 2024 promotional campaign marketed Bella's Overcome necklace, describing it as designed by Bella. So while Bella isn't publicly presented as a running day-to-day operations the way her mother has been, her name, story, and founder status remain valuable intellectual marketing assets for the company. Della Vlogs is her second major business. The current third-party tracking services put Della Vlogs somewhere around 3 to 4 plus million subscribers and or more billion views over the lifetime of their channel. There can be discrepancies, and that's it. That's all I'll say about that. There are discrepancies in these numbers with these trackers. So one current tracker estimates approximately 1.04 billion views and 3.05 million subscribers, while another reports substantially higher numbers. But regardless of which tracker is right, they have a massive YouTube operation. So, how much could Della Vlogs make from YouTube? A current tracking service estimates roughly $127,000 a month. A month. That is what people make in a year. And most people don't make that in a year. Or you can see it like this. They make $1.5 million a year. That's before sponsorships. Sponsorships pay like 5 digits sometimes. That's probably the biggest piece that publicly available net worth websites don't capture very well. And I don't know if everyday viewers know how much these people are making off of their brand sponsorships. They make a lot, but we don't have their contracts, and so we cannot honestly like say they make $50,000 per sponsorship. We don't know. They don't tell us. So at their audience size, sponsorships could represent a substantial additional revenue stream beyond AdSense. Now, Dallin does have his own personal wealth, and it is separate from Bella's. Dallin didn't create Origami Owl, Bella did with her mother and her family, and Dallin's documented public career is much more closely tied to YouTube, social media, and their joint creator business. He won the jackpot. He does not look like he likes her very much, honestly. How did a 14-year-old $700 jewelry idea become the financial foundation for a family that later became a massive family vlogging empire? The timeline's fascinating. 14-year-old Bella, $350 babysitting money plus $350 the match from her parents, living lockets, mall kiosk, direct sales MLM model, tens of thousands of distributors, hundreds of millions in annual sales. Thank goodness. Bella marries Dallin. Della vlogs, millions of subscribers, billions of views, YouTube advertising, brand sponsorships, family content becomes another enormous business. There's so much more that I could say, and it's a huge rabbit hole, but we're going to talk about them because it's disgusting that they have bought 2 babies. And yes, they bought babies. The waiting list to adopt a child is long. Unless you're rich and you have money, then you can buy a baby to exploit online for millions of dollars. I wonder if they give any money to the birth mothers that gave them the product to sell. This isn't it. That's all I'm trying to say. This is not the end of me talking about Della Weems, her mother, her husband, and her children, and they're traveling. That's going to be very interesting to tell you guys about that. Where they last went was a war zone, Abu Dhabi, the UAE. There's nobody there, Bella. That's because it's a war zone. She has her baby without life jacket. For one, they never put life jackets on their babies. Why do influencers do this? You are influencing millions of people viewing your content that might be 17 to 20 or 15 to 20, whatever, and they're forming ideas on how to be parents in the future. And if you don't put a life jacket on your baby, it should be fine, right? I hope you guys look into the comment sections of these people's posts before they get in there and delete the bad comments, because that's what they do. They're constantly deleting bad comments or blocking people who have negative things to say. But you should put a life jacket on your child, especially when you're on a boat or in the water like lake or the ocean. But Bella is filming, and in the background of her video in Abu Dhabi, UAE, you see her 3-year-old adopted daughter that they bought walking around the beach in by herself. She's far away from her mom. If there was an accident, her mom could not just scoop her up. She would have to run to her in sand on the beach. You ever ran in sand? I haven't. It's not easy. Anyway, not great. I don't want to be mean and say they're not great parents, but they're not the best. Okay. They are not. And I don't know if it's rage bait, because that's what they do, that even if it puts their kid in danger, they don't care. It's money. Once people start earning all this money on the internet, it becomes addictive, and they will do whatever it takes to keep their channel going, to keep the money coming in. They'll do whatever they have to do. So is it rage bait that you're putting your kids in danger, or you really don't have common sense? It's You're incompetent, no common sense, or you're rage baiting, because surely you know better. I don't know, because Christy Weems, she did. There's even a police report. She left her son in the car while she went in the grocery store and went shopping. Windows up, car was off. Yeah. So that's how Bella was raised. That's the example she saw. Her mother also protected her friend who is grooming a child. Okay. They are not the best people, and I don't have the nicest things to say about them. So if you can't handle the truth when someone is blunt and telling you these people are shitty, then this might not be the place for you. But if you do like when people say, hey, this ain't cool, we should not be promoting this, then this might be the place for you. So subscribe if you want to see more on Bella and Dallin. Uh, like the video if you liked it, and I cannot wait to get deeper into this. We're going to dig so deep, and y'all are going to know the truth on this family vlogging channel. It's disgusting, and we got to stop. We got to stop. If you're a young person and you're watching me, this is not the way you parent. Parenthood is sacrificing. Parenthood is not something you monetize, okay? It's never going to be lucrative business to have a family. Having a family does not mean you have to have a family vlogging channel. It actually means the opposite. You have children to protect. Protect your babies at all costs. And y'all have a wonderful day, and I can't wait to get back to you. Today's my birthday. I'm going to go, I don't know. My husband took me to breakfast this morning by the lake, and it was the best breakfast I've had in a very long time. Pancakes were like an inch thick. They were so big. We could not eat it all. But the eggs and bacon and sausage was delicious, and I'm so, so glad we went to breakfast. Anyway, you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.